What's up guys, I'm Dan Jeong. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a couple guests here. So we got Dom and I got Netty. So Dom's a calisthenics and nutrition coach. And every time I stand next to him I feel like super fat because this guy's so ripped. And yeah, Netty here is a mobility and yoga teacher? Mobility teacher, right. And yeah, we're gonna be learning how to do a muscle up, and Dom's gonna lead us into learning how to do it, and then Netty and I are gonna be your humble students. All right, let's get started.
Now, there's very big differences with the ring and the bar muscle up. The ring muscle up, as Dan would agree, is purely strength with a little bit of false grip. Now, with the bar, you can't just go straight up. It's a diagonal movement. We're going from a slight arch body, diagonally up, and protracting into a hollow body at the top of the bar. So, let's get started on the transitional movements and the progressions you need to achieve the muscle up. So, when it comes to the pull-up, it's one of the prerequisites to getting the muscle up. We all know this. I'm just gonna get down to show what a typical pull-up looks like. You know, you see most bodybuilders, wide grip, and they're gonna try and hit the lats. And you can see slightly leaning back, trying to bring the bar to the chest. This is really good for growing the lats, but hasn't got the core engagement and the body shape that we're gonna need for a muscle up. So, cheers, man. So, great for building muscle, getting the strength in. If you're really a beginner, you can start doing those, but I'm gonna show you the most efficient way to build your pull-up in regards to getting the muscle up. So, shoulder width apart, we're just out because that's the grip you want for a muscle up. Now, hollow body protraction is squeezing in right through your midline, keeping your chin slightly tucked in, driving your elbows in, chin over, and straight down, keeping this line because that's the line that you're gonna need on the top of the bar. Now, because we're not trying to build muscle for a sense, which you still will, but you're trying to engage more power, so we wanna be more explosive with it. And you should be able to touch the bar to your chest. So Antoinette, as we said earlier, has got it on the rings. She's got decent pull-ups with weight, but she wants to be the grandmaster now and get it on the bar. Just outside of her shoulder width because her wrists need to fit on either side of her body when she goes to do the muscle up. So we want to practice this form. Now, can you hollow your body please? Squeeze the quads nice and tight. We want nice tight quads and legs engaged throughout. So, can you pull your shoulder blades down? Good. Now, pulling them even further back. There we go. Scapular retraction is key. That's the start to a pull-up. Now, nice and slow, activate the lats. There we go. Bring the elbows in, chin over, bar to the chest. Good. Pulling in, elbows pulling into your core, core activated, legs tight, even pointed toes, just for that extra touch of prettiness there. And come down nice and slow. And yes, there we go. So that's what we're aiming for. Antoinette, can you now do a few explosive ones in that form, activating the scapulars first? And up we go, power. There we go. Nice protraction, hollow body, good. And there we go, bar to the chest. And again. We ideally want to build up the power to get the bar below the chest and the nipples of the chest because that's where you're going to be protracting from in order to finish the movement. So, the transition phase of the muscle up. This is generally where most people get stuck, and even the people that have the ring muscle up, they get stuck because they're used to just going up and they already have the strength. Most people generally have the strength, but just not the understanding of how to initiate the movement. So we're gonna work on the push the button, or what can also be called as thread the needle. This is where we're creating a little bit of forward motion in order to get the tension in our chest to explode diagonally around the bar. Because as you know, right, we don't just go straight up, that's just a pull up, unless you're doing a strict muscle up in a false grip. We are coming diagonally in, then round and protracting over the bar. Nice. So you can see here that he's stretching the lats, pulling the chest back, and that is pulling him behind the bar already. That's what initiates the movement. He's still got a hollow and nice tight legs, but he's initiating the movement with his head and chest forward. Perfectly, man. Good. Now let's go again, but I want you to this time stretch a little bit harder right, into the ground, and then I want you to initiate that pull down. So it's a lat pull down with the bend of the arms to bring you towards the bar. Good. Perfect. So that is the distance that you want there. You saw that she initiated the lat pull down, then started to bend the arms to bring it back towards the bar, and therefore her body, instead of being right up here or way back here, was just in the right spot to make that movement over, almost like an oval shape or half of an oval shape, okay? But there's a very important cue we can make for beginners starting off, and this is you can use for in reference, whether you're in the park or in the gym. Get a little piece of chalk or a weight plate and mark this out. Generally, when you're standing under the bar, you want to mark out about 3 feet in front of you. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's the distance that you want to push for. You don't want to go any further than that. So, X marks the spot, Nat. I want your feet to try and rub that off, okay? Okay. Lat pull down, arms initiate in, and remember the wrist. The wrist is key. Now we're starting to get really into the transition phase. You close the throttle of the motorbike in order to get over the bar. So make sure you already start with your wrists in that position as much as you can.
So you want to start with like a slight overgrip.
Exactly, yeah. The more of an overgrip you can get, the better it is that you're going to initiate. Generally, like movements where you're doing a lot of pulling down, that overgrip is what allows you to get more downward force out of your lats and arms. Okay, so on that one there, a bit too close to the bar, right? So make sure you really get that stretch. Initiate the down pressure first. It's kind of like a weird hybrid pull-up where you're pulling downwards with the lat, then pulling in with the biceps of the arms, okay? And your grip, we're still a little bit la-di-da-di. So let's really try and land right here as much as possible, okay? Good. Nice.
That was not better.
There we go. Sweet. So as you can see, she's already improving in where she has to pull down and where she has to start bending. Obviously, if she did that with a bit more oomph as well, you're going to start getting up. The body naturally wants to go up with that power. So as you saw from there, generally most people's problem in the transition phase is the closing the throttle of the motorbike, and just like on the rings as well, it's the false grip. It's developing that tension from the forearms through the elbow connective tissue to keep that grip. And as you know, it's really important to have that grip in order to complete any of those muscle ups. So I'm going to show you a good way to train it. Obviously you do normal pull-ups, you can do the normal pull-ups with that grip as well, but if you really want to utilize the arms and the lats, I would suggest doing L-sit pull-ups and trying to drive the bar to your belly button or your waist. I'm going to be holding as overgripped as possible. That's generally how I like to start my muscle up anyway, because it's just much nicer on the wrist and much more fluid and effortless. So keeping that here, and then going to L-sit, I'm going to isolate my lat, and then I'm going to drive up. And as you can see, I'm trying to turn my wrist at the top as well. Perfect. And you can even start to turn the wrist at the top.
Okay.
And as you pull down, if you turn the wrist at the top, you'll find that the elbows will drive back and pull the bar even closer. That's the same motion. So all of the elbows come down, then they rotate back as the wrists rotate and give you that shelf in the palm in order to push off. There we go. Now this is part of the transition phase. We're now going to work on the middle top phase. We just showed you the below to middle phase. But in order to strengthen that false grip that we were showing you, or slight false grip, and the protraction of the shoulders with the tricep strength, we need to do straight bar dips, but not just any straight bar dips. We really want it nice and slow and controlled with the chest coming down to the bar, okay? Because you don't want to be doing it like this, because that's not how you come up from a muscle up unless you're pretty experienced already. We want to come up from that phase as if you just got your first muscle up. You want to be doing that time and time again to really increase better patterns in your body. So you want the same grip as you would for a muscle up. So you can see it's just outside of her hips. Any wider than that, and you're going to start doing this, which you're going to start doing that internal rotation of the shoulders, which isn't very healthy for the shoulders and doesn't put you at your strongest. You want everything tight, elbows back. You almost want to brush your lats every time. So now, what you're going to do, hollow in your core, please. Good. You can see that her chest is right over the bar, if not slightly in front of the bar. She's resting flat on her palms. I want you to lower down your chest to the bar while bringing your legs slightly forward. Good. She's counterbalancing with her legs. Hold it there. Good. Do you see the alignment of the shoulders and the hands over the bar? Excellent. Now, push up, please. Good. And you can see that her thighs are up. Well, she does have really nice big thighs. Good job. But you want to be really close to the bar here. You don't want to be far out. Show us one more, please, nice and slow. Good. Chest, almost bring your nipples to the bar, looking down. Good. Now look up and press up. Excellent. So one of the main movements that helped me and a lot of my students along the lines of getting the muscle up and understanding the thread the needle, push the button movement up into the transition phase, and then the strength phase was this movement here. And this is just a practice muscle up. You just want to get on a nice low bar or P bar and keep your feet on the ground. So I like to start slightly leaning back here. What I'm going to be doing is stepping through with one leg. Now there will be a slight bend in your elbows, obviously because the bar is quite low, but just make sure you still feel the stretch in the pecs and lats. Get that stretch here. What you're then going to do is initiate that same movement back diagonally and try to just use one leg. If you need to use two, that's fine, but one leg is going to give you more feeling in your upper body. And then from here, straight up and press. Now, you want to just reverse the movement the same way. You want to always make sure that you're coming down from the muscle up in the same diagonal movement you came up with. So, you lean back slightly, you push forward, you get the stretch in the chest again, you lean back, leg comes off, slight jump, finish the movement. And then as you get stronger, you just lean slightly further and use less jump. And then you end up being in the proper position here. This movement that I just showed you isn't so much of a strength movement, it's just to get the understanding of the whole movement in its entirety without having to be up on a bar and skipping out bits or breaking it down. So, pretty solid already. Let's go again. So, step through, try and keep your arms straight if you can, doesn't matter if it bends slightly. Really push your chest forward. Good. Now I want you to come back diagonally and get even lower. There we go, and drop down your leg, bend your leg, push your hips forward, push your leg. There, you see that extension, guys? That's what we want. She's in front of her shoulders, chest is forward, she'd be in a hollow body line here, and now explode back up. Lovely. And one more in that same diagonal entrance. Get right low. No, nice control, stretch, stretch, stretch. And let's jump, get up. Okay, so you see that as you want to increase the difficulty, use less jump, and that will really tell you where you are with that transition phase. When you're starting out though, you can use and accentuate the hip movement in order to get your first few muscle ups and develop the upper body strength. I mean, cut the ego. It's okay to regress a little bit, right? And just make sure that you are getting some quality reps in for the upper body. As you get stronger with the upper body and learn to initiate more force from the upper body, you'll require less legs in the movement and less hip action. So Dan, could you show them what it looks like probably how you got some of your first muscle ups back in the day, was bending the legs and kicking your knees at the bar in order to generate that little bit of kip. He's still gonna do his push the button, he's still gonna initiate his diagonal movement, but you're gonna help yourself with just a little kick of the knees to the bar in order to give you the extra height of the bar below the chest. There you go. So you can see, he's using just a little bit of knees, but obviously he's a brute, so he didn't even use it that much. You could really kick the knees really bent, and as you progress, what Dan was just doing there was perfect. He was just slight bend in the knees just to give him that extra bit of force. So the next step is, when the knees becomes too easy, we want to tidy it up a bit more. So now we're going to keep the legs straight, we're going to keep the quads tight, we're going to point our toes. But we're going to be using a little bit of exaggeration from the hips. So yeah, you look tidy with straight legs, but you're still doing a slight kip with the hips. What this is going to do, same as before, push the button into the X on the floor, We're then going to be coming up diagonally still, initiating the arms, closing the throttle of the motorbike, protracting over the bar. What you will see is that I will be doing this slight explosive movement halfway through the muscle up. This will bring my legs slightly forward, which, like you saw in the dip, is a nice counterbalance to allow you to rotate over the bar and finish the movement. My hips, okay? And I'm going to show you again. See that? That hip comes to the bar before my upper body does. You can use a band for this movement if you're on your own. A lot of people just jump straight into using a band that's really easy and they don't actually get the technique. They just pop up and they're like, oh, okay, I'm learning it. But if you can work out with a good training partner and get them to just help you with the placing their hands at the bottom of your feet, they can help just push you up without using, well, allowing you to use more strength than just using the band, okay? So now we're gonna go for that push the button again. You're gonna go up and I just want you to get as high as possible with bent arms without, remember, being too close to the bar. If you're too close to the bar, you're not gonna get over unless you have ridiculous amount of strength in your false grip. You ready? So I'm gonna be down here, so your training partner can just be next to you. Make sure you're not in front or you're gonna get kicked in the face. Makes sense, right? So I'm gonna be here. She's gonna do everything as normal. Once she does her push the button, my hand will glide under her feet and I will give her a little push with just my arms and shoulders, okay? Oh, that was pretty easy.
Maybe
let's go again.
Let's help.
Good, and again. Good, and again. And reset, reset. So, and again, kick forward, stretch the chest. Good, and one more, kick forward. Get that grip, good. Stretch and up. Okay, good. So you're still pulling really close to the bar there. That means it's just a pull up. You're not going to get round from there. So for the band, you like to put it on the bar, just through like this, nice and tight. Antoinette, could you step up, please? So she's going to be showing you on the band now, putting together everything that we worked for. So you can either get somebody to help you by putting it down here like that. But Antoinette, could you show us how to get into a band if somebody was doing this on their own? Okay? So no, that's not how we do that. So please stop that.
That's how I get it.
No, that's not how. So Antoinette, if you want to step up and show everyone how you get into the band. So you pull it down, 1 foot at a time. Then, yeah, you want to climb up, make sure you're holding the band so it doesn't whip up and slap you in the face. One hand on the band, the other hand goes on the bar. There we go. Excellent. So now she's going to sit on the band and she's going to go into a push the button, right back, close the throttle of the motorbike and initiate her muscle up. So Antoinette, take it away. Oh, a bit more kick.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to use your hips as well. Do we need a tighter band?
Yeah, because I don't even use it.
Stretch forward into your X, close the throttle of the motorbike. Come on, there we go, nice. Diagonal entry again, please, and demonstrate another nice one. Good, and one more, just because we can. Good, now you can see the diagonal movement there, the band's just helping support her a little bit. So now if you want to make it slightly harder, just take 1 foot out as well, squeeze the feet together nice and tight. Alright, now you're only stretching off of one leg, let's go for it. Good, and one more. So, obviously when you're at a certain level already, you can start getting the muscle up, but you find that that first one is difficult, or you're still struggling a little bit with the technique of generating the force from a dead hang. What I suggest is use a thin band to help you get up on the first one. Then at the top, Dan's gonna take off the band and he's going to use gravity to help him gain the stretch in his chest in his push the button to then get more explosiveness on the way up and help him achieve that muscle up. Push the button, there he goes. Then when he's nice and stable, he's going to remove the band off his feet. The band's just going to stay there, but it's not going to be of any help. Then he's going to come diagonally with force. That is key, that you come down diagonally and stretch the chest to come back up. So let's send it. And that way he was able to come back up a lot easier than when he was doing it from a dead hang. So we're going to move on to a thinner band. Hopefully Antoinette understands the movement and she's going to generate the force. You well rested enough?
Feeling it. It's going to be a challenge.
Alright, so let's go for it. Thinner band, more gains. Hey! A bit of a struggle up, but clean form. That's all good. Now, let's use that downward tension and gravity that you're going to get now. Straight onto that edge. Whip it back up. Yes. Now we're getting somewhere. Do you reckon you can get a third?
We'll try it.
Yeah, that's the attitude. Squeeze those legs tight.
No.
So on that last one, as she started to get slightly tired, she didn't focus on that push the button. Remember, the push the button and that stretch of the chest is what's key to initiate the movement. Okay, so if still not quite, but you think you have the power, you can do the pullover technique as well. Let's see how that works now with the same band and see if she gets it. So Net, could you do a pullover, please? Okay. So it should be slightly easier. I hope I'm not lying to you. Don't make me look bad. Alright, so with the help of gravity and the band, let's hope that she gets it now. There we go.
Yay!
And you can see by her face, we're happy with the progress. Do you want to try one more?
I think you could have gone your legs a little bit more forward as well.
Even more, as you said, the further forward you go, the better it's going to be.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh no.
Okay, exhausted already. We have been doing it a few. Good progress.
Okay, I think that's it for today's video. Thanks Dom and Netty for featuring my video. I hope it was very helpful. And then Netty attempted so much that she lost both of her skin on her thumb. So yeah, thanks for that.
No worries.
All right, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Peace.